Hi everyone.
Hi everyone.
Hello everybody.
Hi everybody. Hi guys.
Hello everyone.
Stay strong.
Stay strong.
Stay safe.
Stay safe and stay safe. Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Stay safe everyone.
Safe.
Stay together.
Healthy. Stay hydrated. Stay fresh.
Get through this together.
Stay strong. Stay safe. Stay at home. Stay at home, yeah. Stay at home.
くれぐれもお体をお大事に。
Hi, welcome to Have Fun with Ed. I hope you all are doing well. Thank you for joining us today. For those who have first heard about IK Academy, IK stands for Integrating Knowledge. We are a technical training provider. We train, we integrate. We help technical profession across the world to integrate what they have learned into their professional and professional lives. This is important because we believe that the correct technical know-how can save lives. All it takes is a just push of a wrong button. Neutrality is our priority. Rest assured that we are totally brand neutral with strict focus on education because we know your next course of decision depends on it. Drawing from decades of experience, our network of industry experts will bring practical wisdom solutions, no textbooks, only experience. At IK Academy, we believe is a long life process and go technical is what we emphasize. We also encourage hard work and play hard. Instead of exhausting ourselves to strike a constant balance, it's all about finding ways to integrate our professional lives and our personal lives. The way that I have always handled excess stress through my hobby. So let's all welcome Mr. Matthew that is here today to help us, talk about his passion into, becoming a profession now. So, hi Matthew, hi,
Hi, Spider-Man.
hi. Thank you for coming to this talk. Normally we talk about hobbies, but this is also a hobby that become a profession. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
you look like you're having a good time in your suit.
not bad is I have to wear this to protect some identity. So
Okay.
so let's all start with we just sometimes there are questions from because we have viewers from Facebook, on LinkedIn and also on YouTube. So let's just ask on your profession from hobby. When did you start this photographing hobby? Is it from a young age or recently, or how did it start actually?
Okay, so well, I wouldn't not really photography. I do videos. We are a video production company, but um it started as it started because my girlfriend at that time, which is my wife now, she likes taking pictures, and so when the first time I helped get her a camera, and when after buying her the camera, she would take pictures. Then I saw the video function on it, right? So I just started using it. I would go and shoot like random things, and then I just started liking the idea of telling stories with camera, and that was I think I was like 15 years old at that time. And yeah, I just kept going that way, and started picking up, and then started looking into better gear, and then from there had this idea of starting a company many years ago, more like a freelance business. It was just like a here and there, once in a while project, and it was okay. And then not 3 years, 2 years ago, or at least the start of 2021, we officially incorporated.
Before the
Just in fact, during COVID, so it was after the lockdown, we incorporated from just a business into a company, an actual company. We actually hired staff and had an office, and we just basically took our last hey, give it our all. It's all or nothing. And yeah, so we said, all right, try it one more time and let's see where it goes from there. And since the start of 2021, things have like really started happening for us, which we're really grateful to God for. And yeah, so it just kept going from there. And today we are doing much bigger things than we thought we would do.
Cool. So like this business right now, before you start this business, did you have any setbacks, or do you have second thoughts, or
Yes, I think the creative business or the creative industry in Malaysia, it's always a scary thing, right? Like parents tend to not encourage you to go into this line because it's not like a steady income, right? And so, but fortunately for me, my mom was never really against it. So she was like, okay, but obviously there were a lot of fears, worries, and then the idea of should I go full time? Should it just be like a hobby? Should I just do it, work full time and then do it on the weekends? So definitely there were a lot of those setbacks, and especially the pandemic was an obvious one, right? Like we couldn't even shoot at all. So that was a huge setback. It almost made you wonder whether you could survive something like that ever again.
I see.
Yeah, it was worrying.
Okay. So you say you started having this liking of taking pictures and the functions of telling stories through videos. At 15 years old, how many years is it took you to come to this point that you say, okay, I want to do this for my business. I want to do this for my future or something like that.
Well, it took me, it wasn't just until last year, right? So that would be 14 years, 14 years before I actually decided that, hey, I'm going to do way much more rather than just freelance. Because it's easy to do freelance, right? I mean, it's easier because there's no commitments, no overheads, no like planning, and then you have to get this. I mean, you got staff, you're responsible for people. And so it took me 14 years before I actually dared to step out and take on something like that, with a lot of good mentors who helped me in this season as well. Yeah.
So can say that you started your business with you and your wife, and then it started to be a big team now. And
yes, I actually started without my wife first because we weren't sure if she should give up, if she can quit her day job yet, because it was still a scary time, So it was like, we have a son, right? So it was like, relax first, like okay, she'll work. She, just in case anything happens with me, at least we still have an income. But since the start of 2022, is it 2022? No. Sorry, we are in 2022 now. Yeah. So since around middle of 2021, right? Yeah. So around middle of 2021, my wife joined me full time as well, and then we started really building and growing from there.
Okay. Like, what type of projects do you do? You can share with us. Like, mostly is it? Also, one thing I heard that you started to do from wedding events, from wedding pictures. Is it last time?
Yeah. I mean, at the start, it was like whatever comes, right? Like anybody gives me a job, I'm like, okay, I'll do it.
Okay.
So weddings was a starting platform as well, because especially people who know you are more keen to like give you an opportunity, right? Like companies are not gonna take a risk on you. Where weddings, they're like, hey, since you're doing this, I trust you. I can pay you this much. Can you do our wedding? So we said, okay, we'll do weddings, and it was a really. I thought that was the direction I was going to be heading into, but I realized that I'm not cut out for weddings.
It's different, doing weddings is different from your advertising and everything.
Yes, I think it's a different type of stress. They are all difficult and they all have their benefits and cons, but a wedding, I don't know, the pressure that I get from a wedding is really like overwhelming, because I think the thought is that you're not going to be able to do this again, right? It's not like you can say
one time.
Yeah, you can't tell them, excuse me, sorry, I missed that shot, can we do this again? It's there's no such thing as that. So the stress of, okay, this person is going to remember this day for the rest of their life. So yeah, it was stressful, but I think it was a good learning things from it as well. But I know now that I'm not the best at doing weddings, and I'm okay with that, because last time it was like, I must be good at everything, but you realize that you can't grow a business that way. Yeah.
I see. So now is you will do more to what type of videos or what type of business you will take in now?
Yeah, so during the pandemic, which was last year when we started, we were doing video productions. We do a lot of corporate. So I work with a law firm, and then from there we got introduced to more corporate companies, and then we just stuck in corporate a lot. But during the pandemic last year, when we could not shoot, we couldn't go out for video productions. we streamed into animation. We went into animation,
Oh, yeah.
and so I hired an animator, and she's been with us since we incorporated, and we went from there. Things just started picking up. We got opportunities for projects that we didn't think we could get, and then it grew from there. Then we hired more, and now we work with a team of four animators, and animation has become one of our biggest streams of income. So we do a lot of corporate animations, and yeah, some you should be seeing shortly on TV and all those. But
Oh, yeah. I see.
yes, so we've been doing a lot of corporate recent. I think that's our direction. We are doing a lot more corporate than lifestyle.
I see. So that's interesting. So you can say that there's not many animation content creator in Malaysia as well.
I think there is, but as not as much as video production, because that's what set us apart a little from the rest, because we don't only do video production. A lot of times, especially when you first start, right, you tend to focus on one thing, and video productions is one of the areas that we focused on, and we thought we will be focusing just on that. But we started seeing that there's a huge demand on motion graphics and animation, and I think that's what set us apart, because now when a company comes to us, they can do a video production, but in the middle of that, they can add in motion graphics, animations to highlight certain stuff, and even if they decide to do a full-on animation, we can do that. So we started retaining clients that way, because they feel, oh, I come to you, you can handle both these areas, not just video production. So I think that's what set us apart. Although I do know there are many animators in Malaysia, but I think we're just trying to push in that market even more now.
I see. So because it's quite a niche market. So if your insight is a good opportunity for you and your company as well.
Definitely.
Okay, great. So I think it's good to know a bit about what type of projects you do, have or done before. Recently I saw a picture of you, in a nice ocean beach there. Want to share about a bit about that? What project was that actually?
Okay, so that was a shoot
that?
with. Yes, I can
Okay.
share some of it, and that was a shoot with Intercontinental Hotel, Maldives. So it's like a bespoke event. So they create an event with like a guest artist, who in this case was called the Marshmallowies. If you haven't heard about her, you can go and search her up. She's in UK. She's probably the number one marshmallow. I think I don't even think I've heard of the term marshmallows in my life before.
It's new to me too. It's new to me.
Yeah, we think of marshmallows just as in the packet marshmallow, right? Well, she's like what they call that, artisan marshmallows. So she makes them so specifically, and then the taste, the flavors with different things, where it's in a bar or in food, in hot chocolate, breakfast for kids, all these kind of things she comes up with. So what they did is they bring an artist like her to the resort in Maldives, and they give the guests an experience. So the people who are already staying there get to participate in this event. And so they get to, like, in the morning when they go for breakfast, instead of just breakfast, they get hot chocolate, marshmallows made by the marshmallowists who's there, who's preparing it for them. So it's like a huge treat, like wow, you've been tailored an event in your already nice holiday. You go Maldives, already great, everything's already nice, right? So we were brought in to cover that event because it was the 75th anniversary of Intercontinental in general. So we covered that event, and then they used it to promote as well as highlight certain specific things in their hotel as well.
I see. Is there a video of that or just pictures, or how?
Yes, it's all on Intercontinental Hotel's website. You can go on their Instagram, their Facebook. You'd see it there. I think we put together a total of 6 videos, if I'm not mistaken, for that. 5 short ones and one long interview with the marshmallowists. So she got to express her
Oh, I see.
experience as well there.
All right, I'll check that out later. It sounds
Yeah.
very interesting, of course.
It was a very
Um,
good experience.
Yeah. Okay. Is there like a certain project or a business that it didn't went well? Like you do halfway and then the customer was like, no, this is not a one, or things like that.
Yeah, I think I think that happens all the time, right? Like there's always going to be a little bit of tug of war in this, because we work in we work in an industry that is like the creative industry, right? Which
Okay.
creativity tends to be subjective, because what you think is cool might not be cool to me. Some people like Spider-Man, some people like Thor.
Okay, it's
so
okay.
so
I mean,
so it's not that there's one right and one wrong. It's just that sometimes people interpret things differently. So of course you have your right and wrongs. I'm not saying that in creativity you can do anything you want. Obviously there are standards that you follow, but ultimately the feel of things comes down to the interpretation of the client. And sometimes the clients don't exactly know what they want as well, because they are not creatives themselves.
right.
So when we work with other creative clients, they are more specific. They can tell us, hey, this is the design we want, this is what we want to do, this is, go with this. But when you work with a client that doesn't really have creative background, what we do is you put together things for them. And something that we do as a part of our process as well is to put together a storyboard, right? So when the client tells us what they want, we put together an entire storyboard and we present it to the client. And sometimes we even have to pitch. When we first started, even before the client confirms us, we had to pitch with storyboards. And
Ideas
storyboards,
for them to
correct,
choose.
all the ideas of the entire shoot. That means it's almost like a full story already. And our animator, illustrator has to draw everything out, plan everything. And because it's a pitch, you don't want to make the storyboard look like ugly. Usually if it's a fast one for us, if the storyboard is for us, then we would just cover certain things. We don't have to make it look nice, right? We draw a face, we might just draw it without eyes and ears and mouth, right? Because we don't need to see the eyes. But when you're doing it for a client, you spend a lot of time to make sure it looks good. It almost looks like a comic book, so that they can understand what is going on. So there were times when we first started, we would put together an entire, I remember we put we even made 3 different stories. Actually, we made 5, we picked 3, and then we shared it with the client, and not one was even used.
Okay.
So that was at the start, right? Now thank God we've reached a place where we are not exactly pitching that way anymore. So we're not losing a lot of time on that, because now usually the client confirms us, then we prepare the storyboard so that they know what they want, and we can show them what they're getting. But yeah, I think that's a constant thing. As much as I'd like to say it's in the past, not true, because even now there are a lot of times when we are done with the project, we show it to a client, and then they say, no, that's not right, And sometimes when the client doesn't know what they want, they see it and they say, I don't like this, like, can you change that? Then we say, okay, what do you want? I don't know, it's just, I just like that doesn't look right, So that becomes a bit more difficult for us as well, because then we have to like revise ourselves and then show it to them and then see whether they like it still. So yeah, it's a constant thing where clients won't exactly, because like I said, it's a creative industry. So it's not like building a phone, right? When you make a phone, it works, it does everything, you send, done. But in our industry, it can be interpreted differently. So even though you're done, it might not be done. So
is that the challenge that you face in your industry, or is that the main challenge or one of the challenge kind of thing?
yes, it's definitely, I think, the biggest challenge, because especially when we are done with a project, or at least when we're showing the project to the client for the first time, it's always nerve-wracking. Because when you first show it, it's almost like your baby. First of all, when you design it, when you make it, you spend so much time on it, you feel some sense of satisfaction from what you've just done, right?
This is mine,
Correct. I did this, or I show you, I want to see you like, oh, smile and happy. Wow, that is amazing. But not always the case, right? So we have to brace ourselves. So in a conversation, when we show it to a client, we're always having this feeling of, oh no, what's going to happen, what the client is going to say, doubts, even though, and sometimes the meeting goes like, oh my gosh, that was beautiful, I love it, can you just change this part? Great, then we're so happy. Sometimes it's like, look at it, it's like, I feel like it's not done yet, maybe, so it's different responses. So we have to brace ourselves. And I think we have to be okay with it. We have to learn to be okay with someone criticizing our art in a way, because your work, it's literally like, it's like anybody, if you, in your case, even when you're working in your company, sometimes your boss will tell you to do things differently, right? And I think because in our case, it's art, and art kind of feels like it comes from your heart in a way. Certain things like the way you build. So when someone says it's not nice, you kind of have a heartbreaking moment.
I see.
So it feels
So
like
it's
you're saying,
you
I'm
put
not nice.
100%, you put 100%, the person say it's only 50%, you
Correct.
need to make it 100%.
It's so true. And it feels like the person is saying that you are not good. So sometimes in your head, it's like the client is actually just saying, I don't like this, change it. And they're still happy with you, as in they're still happy to work with you. But in our mind, it's like, God, like this person doesn't want to work with us ever again. And then later the client keeps coming back to you. Then you realize, oh man, it wasn't that bad after all. So I think it's a thing that creatives have to learn, to be okay with somebody criticizing your work. It's not easy. I still don't get it right. I still get like uptight, but something we have to learn.
I think it's not just in creative field. I think in every industry, everyone will just, there's always somebody who criticize, your customers or clients, they will
That's
say
true.
something. But you say your customer keep coming back to you after they find something, and they found something with you.
Yeah, I was just talking to our team recently as well. We were like a client that has been pushing us beyond our I guess our comfort zone, and because they are a creative team as well, so they know what they want. And there's been a lot of back and forth in this, right? We are going back and forth with, oh, change this, change that. But I think our team has taken this approach of, okay, as much as it's frustrating, as much as sometimes we feel like we cannot get it right, but we're learning so much in the process. So we realized by the time we're done, like one of the parts of it was just signed off and said, great, done, no more changes. Oh man, the accomplishment that feels, like, wow, we got it. We managed to reach the standards that they were expecting. And I think that even though the process was difficult, the satisfaction of achieving that level of standard, especially because we know that they are of better standards. Obviously, if you got somebody who's telling you to change work and they don't even not are lousy at their work, that's a whole different thing, right? But this is somebody who's really good, and I think they pushed us to break beyond our comfort zone and get better at what we do. So yeah, I think those are very good training points, because now we realize, oh, we can actually do that. We are capable of that, Yeah.
Interesting. I really think that that touches a lot of different industry, because it's related to so many people. They push you to a certain point that you say, okay, you think you can't do it, but after that you done it, and then say, oh, actually I can.
Actually,
now
you
I'm
can,
doing
yeah.
something better. So,
and it's important to know, like, who is the person that's asking you to do something, right? If they've achieved better things than you have, then most probably they have some weight to the words that they say, right? So I think that's an important factor as well.
So all these projects you have done, kind of thing, is there a time frame you give, or is there a very long process? Is it a week time or something like that, or what it depends on? Like,
yeah, it depends on the scope of the project. So we've had projects that are in a week span where they need it like immediately in a week. Then of course they pay a premium fee for that as well, to make sure that we are working overtime to get things done. And then you have projects that are spread out over time. So we had one project that went on for 6 months, right? So it's like constantly just multiple videos, and then finishing one stage at a time. So yeah, and then we also have projects with clients that span over a year, where it's a monthly retainer, and because they are using us for specific thing that specific advertising need. And so it just goes on for an entire year, and then they just renew the contract as and when they are ready to. So I think it's hard to give an exact time, but it depends on the scope of the client as well. Like how big is the project? Is there animations? Animations obviously take longer than how quickly can they get back to us on confirming the storyboard.
I see.
A lot of things, but generally, I think a rough idea is 3 to 4 weeks tends to be enough for one project, one video.
3 to 4 weeks. Okay. Except for the wedding, that's 1 day.
Yeah, wedding is all happens in one. But then again, I all the people I know who are doing weddings, they release the video to you probably 6 or 7 months later, only, because they are backed up with so many weddings as well. So they shoot yours in a day, but then after they shoot you, they are editing somebody's wedding from like 5 months ago. So they're not. It's not like they shoot you and then they edit your video at the same time. Unless obviously the same day edit is fast, then they just do like a rough template style. But the actual video can take longer. So yeah, that's that as well.
So your company, what kind of equipment you got, or what interesting thing you have? Like I think we talked about it before. You use drones to shoot some of your videos or pictures.
Yes, I do.
Did you bought it and then you learn it yourself, or?
Yes, I did. We did buy a drone, and that drone crashed in Maldives.
The recent one.
Recent one, yes.
Okay.
It went down into the seawater, and I was sent a picture of it. It was so unfortunate. It was very quick. It all happened very quickly. We managed to get it out like so quickly as well. But seawater is deadly on metal, right? So yeah, that crashed. So my drone is gone at the moment. We're in the midst of replacing that. And then, but I would say what is our coolest gear? Of course, I think my main gear in our company is of course our FX6, our Sony FX6, which is a cinema camera. It's at least at the entry level of a cinema camera, which in itself is already very, very, very expensive. So that has been a huge accomplishment for us to own one of those. And then our ping pong table in my office.
Ping pong table. Okay, I heard about that ping pong table.
Yes, it's a prized possession. It really helps us carry on. Yes.
Okay. Do you still keep your camera from your, that you first bought, the 15 years old?
Oh yes. Well, the first camera ever which wasn't even mine, it was Bethany's, my wife's camera, that we actually sold because we needed to get another camera at that time. So now looking back, because now we have the ability to retain, like keep some of our price, or at least sentimental things. I would have wanted to keep that camera because that would have been so cool. But I do have the first camera I ever used, and I still have it until today. It's like it's nicely in its box again. So it's like like bought brand new. It's even kept in the cloth that it came in and all that. So that's sitting on my shelf right now. We rarely use it, but I keep it. Yeah.
So like I ask a lot of business owners and everything, what make them start that company? What make them start the certain hobby that become a profession? So they always keep something from why they started it. So I think if you can buy back the camera, I think you should.
Yeah, but I didn't start my business. If this company started with the camera that I have now, so that is basically the first thing we ever had as part of our business. So as much as the other one was one of the first I used, it wasn't the one that got me into the company I am today. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with this, but obviously if I have the chance to get that back, would be really nice.
Yeah. So is there any like some very interesting projects you've done before that you think that you never touch this kind of thing? Is it animation that you said just now?
Okay, animation was one. One of the projects I guess I can talk about now. I was recently just given approval to. I could just mention about it. I can't show much about it, but I did the photo shoot. Not a photo shoot, but I did the coverage of the arrest of the Equanimity, the ship. So
I
that
see, I see. Okay.
yes, so
Is it released already?
it is not. It's not ever going to be released because that was used for court. For I was under Tommy Thomas. Um, their I'm not sure how it works, but they had to use it in court. So
Okay.
in order to do the sale of it. So I still have all the photos with me. I've been recently advised to go and approach the government to get off like a signed document or what to let them allow me to just use it as a way to say that I did the shoot, because for so many years I was never even allowed to speak about it, right?
Yeah, I
And that
see.
was it was amazing because we were given the ship for just myself and my an assistant with me. We were given the ship for 1 day by like just ourselves, right? Just us and the captain and a lawyer. So we could go anywhere. We went everywhere. We took pictures of everything. We saw every inch of the ship. We got to see where the main bedroom is, all the different the gold room. Like there's so many things in it that are
Just one
like
ship.
just one ship, but it looks like a hotel. It's
Oh,
like a
really?
hotel. Yeah, it's
Okay.
unbelievable. So that was one of the highlights, especially when we were going for the rest of the ships. All TV3 and TV7 all over there, and they were
They
all
cannot go
only
in.
allowed to go to a certain point.
Yeah.
And then you see this guy walking with his camera inside, and all of them are like standing, like they are all with the big cameras and all that, and they're like, "What the heck?" And
Only
we
only I
are
can
just
go in,
walking them.
kind of thing.
Yeah. So it was a very good experience. Very,
Oh,
very good
wow.
experience.
I think can say like really rare that anybody have ever seen the ship as well.
Yes, that's why it stands out. It wasn't like as though it's not like I went on the ship on a cruise. That would
Yeah.
have been like fun. It wasn't a fun thing, but the experience in itself, the fact that I can say that is unique because like you said, no, not many people can ever say that they would have done that.
Yeah. True, true.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to your business then. So right now, this is 2 years into your business or 3 years now?
Well, this company is 2 years.
2 years.
For me, in as video production full time, I've been doing it for about 5 years now.
Okay. So is your company, what's your business plan? Yeah, definitely you want to do something that you haven't done yet, or like something your goal is, to make a film or something like that. You know,
I think that was the goal before. I always wanted, like the thought was, oh, one day if I could do a movie, I'd be excited. But right now, I'm less looking forward to those kind of things because I also understand the amount of work that comes with it and responsibilities as well. And I'm starting to enjoy directing a lot more than just being a part of. Oh, okay, in that case, if you say I would direct a movie someday, that would be really cool. But I think I'm taking more of that standpoint. Like I'm enjoying directing more than I am videoing and editing and doing all those parts, because I think somehow I like putting together the story, and obviously at a point of time we have to do everything, right? So I had to be like the videographer, the director, the editor, and all that at the same time, right? So I think that would be the goal, to reach the place where I literally will just be directing the videos, and that would be a very significant thing for me. But in terms of like making a movie, I guess I'm very happy with what we've accomplished at the moment, and it already looks scary enough that I'm not trying to think too far. I am planning ahead. I am thinking of a year, 2 years of that, but I'm too scared to think about 10 years time, because the amount of work we have in our hands right now, we need to just get that done first,
I see.
and do it right and do it nicely before we go and think about making a movie and all those. Yeah.
Yeah, you never know, because last time you said that you were scared to even go into this as a business, and then it started a business, and then maybe after that you were scared doing a movie, and one day you got director Matthew Rajendran. Yeah.
Just a fun fact was some of my footage. If you know the show Ini Kalila.
Yes.
Okay, so some of footage that I went and shot was found online. I made a video and I put it on YouTube, and they added some of my footage into the movie.
Yeah.
So if you actually see the movie at the end, you will see certain clips, very short, very literally very short. But it was the first time I had managed to see my name in credits at the cinema.
Yeah, you see.
So
Uh-huh.
yeah, so
Yeah.
that's a fun fact. Yes, I that opportunity. But I agree with what you said. I think before I thought that there was this was my ceiling, but now I'm learning that the ceiling is a little bit higher. Then maybe when I reach, it will go higher again.
Yeah,
So yeah,
the one. That's very interesting. I think a lot of people that tends to start a business, let's just say they aim for like like level 5 kind of thing. But once you reach level 5, there's always a next level to aim. Next level to
it's
reach
true.
kind of thing. So yeah, right now your company is working based in Malaysia's customers base, or is throughout anywhere, Asia or something like that.
So we are based in Malaysia, but we are doing projects. We've had the privilege of working with WHO on projects as well.
Uh-huh.
So we are currently working and finishing off some with them and working on another project as well. And so that project is like kind of like international in a way where you're working with the people that are speaking, giving their input and all that are from different parts of the world, right? And but it is still tailored towards Malaysia. So in a way, but our client is WHO. So that's, I guess, because we do animations, we are able to assist clients almost anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if overseas customers, do you charge them in ringgit or in USD already?
That one we have to discuss in the
Okay.
back.
Because I think if they look at Malaysia and then they see RM, or they'll be very interested, I think.
That's true. That's very true as well. I
Yeah.
think we've never like priced ourselves differently for a different country unless the project is actually bigger.
Mhm.
So I think maybe that's why we've retained our clients as well, because we've been reasonable with our charging. Obviously reasonable. Some people are always going to think you're expensive, and but the ones who have actually paid for the projects realize, oh, okay, you're actually not too expensive after all. So I think there's that balance, but yeah, I believe we are pretty competitive.
Yeah, you have to. I think. I mean, everybody, all the companies, they want to get business. They want to be. You ever thought that is there an award for this kind of companies, like creative companies? Because I think in Malaysia they have this. Every industry, every company, they got this award for those companies. Like I don't know if creative industry there is a award for it.
It's a good question. I'm actually not sure. I actually have not done any research on that. Yeah, I think I have to look into it. I got to look into it, but I'm guessing it's more on sales.
No, I think it's like a bit more to your industry. They will say that you are the for example, I'm not sure, but maybe best creative company in Malaysia. Every year they have this award for different industries. So I'm just
That would
guessing
be interesting.
what category you goes into. So because you say you're a creative industry, so it might be in this best production company every year.
Yeah, I guess I must look into that.
Yeah,
Whether
I
they
will,
actually do
look
that
for
or not.
you too.
All right.
Because I'm Spider-Man.
Thanks.
Yeah, and if you ever want to, make a movie, you got a Spider-Man right here.
I get it. Yep, you got a main character here already.
Yes. So I
But
think
you need to bring your Avengers friends.
no need. So is there some fun fact about your company different from others, or I mean generally everybody has a fun fact, like a motto for your company?
Motto, I guess we don't exactly have. Well, apart from the fact that we pride ourselves in having a ping pong table in the office, we really enjoy that. To a motto, I guess not really. we do believe a lot in company culture. I guess we spend a lot of time in that. I wouldn't say that's like a fun fact or something, but we, as much as possible, we try to keep a healthy workspace, even with each other, that we trust each other, we are polite, we work, there's good relationships happening here, there's no unnecessary politics or any of that. But I obviously we're small, and a lot of people say, oh, you're small, that's why you can do that. But I think if we don't start now, then later when it grows, the culture will fall apart. So I guess that's something. I don't know. That's not fun fact. I'm sorry.
No
I don't
worries.
know.
It's
Nothing funny, but yeah.
Company culture.
Yeah.
One thing is you have different departments, like people doing video, people doing credits and everything like that. So do you come to once everybody finished, do you discuss about it and say that some of your team don't agree with other people's work or something like that, or just comment on it kind of thing?
So I guess that happens a lot at the starting stage as well at first, because when we storyboard, we sometimes just sit down and just, hey, what's an idea? What can we do with this? How can we say that? How can we approach this? Because it's not just the video guy that has the best idea in that, right? Like sometimes anybody could give an input and it'd be like, hey, that's interesting, right? So obviously the buck stops with me being the person who has to make the final decision, but we gain a lot of perspective from different ideas. So I guess that's what we do at the start, and then at the end we watch it, and we do that a lot. Like sometimes we will watch a video that is really nice, something's nice about it, and then we would sit down and I'll point it out to the team. Hey, look at that! I really like this, or this is amazing. This video. Oh, look at how they did that, and we would remember. Okay, that's something that we like. That's something that we want to achieve in our videos. So yeah, I think we do that a lot. It happens very constantly, and then we try and improve ourselves to either match that, or if it's something that's really bad, then we say, hey, we must never do something like that. So
when everybody is done, so they have to go to you to approval. Is that right?
So the final, before it actually goes out to a client, yes, I do quality check. The QC does go through me, because we still being the director of this company as well, is to make sure that our standards go out to a certain level before we even reach the client. So we always go through it. It goes through a process. Then after that, it goes through me. Then I see it, I prove it. Then it's sent out to the client from there.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Understand. So I think there is no question from any platform, but is there anything you want to share to people, or you can tell people about, like, people that is scared to do their hobby or passion into a profession? You can give your the words of wisdoms.
Words of wisdom.
There is a question first. Is changing passion into business not as easy as we thought?
Yes. So the question is, changing passion into business not as easy as we thought? I would definitely say so. I think when I first approached the situation, right, this idea of going into business, you have like this amazing dream, right? You are taking the step into a dream, right? Because that's the goal, like, oh, this is what I want to do and all that. So yes, you kind of have that infatuation stage where you feel like, oh, I just have to get this client. I get 5 clients, I can pay this. Oh, I get 6 clients, I'm settled already. You think that way. And oh, this client just has to give me this much. This client has to give me this much. And you think it's that simple. So I would say that you need to go in level-headed. And the good thing about it is I have a good mentor who always helped me at the start as well to reason things out, to see what's good, what will work, what will not. So at points when I say, oh, I even sat down with him and I said, hey, I have this project, it's really good. He just looks at me and goes, that's good, but don't rest on that, because that I think that's just there for you to to have a bit of a rest or a comfort or safety period. And then so he would push us and say, hey, he's the one who even pushed us into, hey, go into animations, you got to try it and really focus on it. So I would say yes, it is difficult but not impossible. The difference is you need to have a mentor. Make sure that you have somebody who can somebody who believes in you. Don't just go to somebody who is level-headed, because a level-headed person might just tell you, don't do it, like it's a stupid idea. Then that could kill a dream as well, and that could be a problem. But if you go to somebody who believes in you and is level-headed, they would actually see the good in it. And obviously, if they believe in you, they will know it's something you can do. For example, if I went up to that person and said, I want to become a chef, that person is most likely going to say, no, don't do it, because it's completely different from what I ever had tried, right? It's like there's no proof, there's no, I don't have any record to show that, hey, I'm a good chef. But because it was a video production and they've seen my passion in it, seen my hard work, that I've actually put time and effort into it, when I said I wanted to do it, because they believe in me, they say you can, but then they give us ideas on how we can do it successfully. And that was a very, 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 very big deal. I cannot stress it enough, but having a mentor who until now, if I have difficulty, I can just go and say, hey, I need help with this, or what do you think about this? And that person would speak into me and give me input. So that's really important. So yes, difficult, but not impossible. Sorry.
So it's like people close to you, your peers, or somebody really know you very well.
I wouldn't say peers, because well, unless you have a peer that it's easy for you to also allow to speak into your life. And again, because peers not necessarily have gone ahead of you, so they can't really give you advice for this certain thing. So it's not really a peer, but it's somebody who is definitely much more successful than me. And when I say successful, it's not just about money, right? Or that person is rich, tells you to do it, it's okay. No, I mean successful as in somebody who really works hard, puts the time and effort, looks into the details, is like somebody who's well-rounded. I think having a person like that, because if it's a peer, right, sometimes you can feel like, you're just saying it because you're my friend, right? But because he's not a peer, he can tell me when he doesn't agree. So there was like a business plan that I came up with, and then he said, I don't think so. This business plan won't work. Let's scrap this one. Now, if it's a friend, it might have been very difficult for them to say something like that, right? They might say, I guess can, but because that person is not a friend, that person is a friend, but not a peer, he was able to immediately say, hey, don't do that. And true enough, when I look back, if I had done that business plan model, it would have really been difficult for us. So yeah, having the right person speak is very important.
So it's quite a challenge then to some people to have somebody like that. I don't think, our circle, sometimes we don't have a person that we can talk to be, that position kind of thing.
That's true. But I think you have to change. I think because sometimes we also are waiting for somebody to come to us, right? Sometimes I think you can also make the approach. And like I said, when I say peer, I don't mean that it has to always, that means you cannot ask somebody your age. No, not true. Because until I have a peer right now who I tend to ask a lot of advice from, because he's done a lot of things ahead of me. So it's not like he's this rich businessman that travels everywhere or anything, but because he has so much more experience and I trust his judgment, I speak to him. So and the other thing is I go up sometimes. I actually ask him, hey, can we go out for a drink? I want to ask you about something. So it's okay to do that. It's okay to ask. It's okay to go out of your comfort zone and speak. Even my mentor, when things were so difficult, I actually went up to him and I said, I need to ask you something. Tell me if I need to give up and get a job or stay in this industry. And I literally went and said, I think I need to look for a job already. And again, because of having somebody, I didn't wait for him to tell me anything. I actually went and asked. So I think sometimes we feel like we have nobody because nobody is coming exactly us. But if we look around and find somebody who we feel is valuable, somebody who we think we can trust, somebody who's shown good has a good reputation as well, then we can take that step to go up and ask them, hey, can I take you out for coffee and maybe just pick your brain for a bit? The person might say, no, this week is very busy. Maybe sometime next month. Make sure don't just take it as, oh, okay lah, you're busy. Okay lah, so again next month. Oh, okay, and then later you forget about it. No, set a date. Okay, then next month, sure. Let's do it next month. When? Let's set a date. You know, you have to actually chase it. Don't expect it all to always come to you. Yeah.
I think if people say next month, a lot of people say like, oh, this guy is not gonna talk to me next month already.
It's true. It's true. We feel like they're saying they are too busy, you know, therefore don't, you know, but I think if you approach it, you ask again, and if that person also feels like, wow, you're really willing to wait until next month, that person might also feel like, wow, you really do want my either advice or you actually value me. So they might also give of their time even more when they approach you, you know. So yeah, I think that's an important thing.
Okay, that was a great question with a very
thanks for asking that.
Full explanation.
Yeah.
Okay, so coming back to my question was, I think this question also, your answer also answer my question of, do you have any advice of people want to start their, turn their passion into business? So it
did. Yeah, I think find yourself a mentor first. First thing I would say, before you take any make any other decision.
All right. If anybody that want to reach out to Matt with his want to do a project with Matt or anything, my colleague will actually share his Instagram, because their website is now currently in the progress. Am I right?
Maybe? Yeah, we are upgrading it, so we just took it down.
Yeah. So my colleague will share his profile in the comments on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. If you guys need any, if you guys want to reach out to Matthew, you can talk to him there. So Matthew, thank you so much for today. It was very informative. I didn't know that this industry is such, there's a lot, it's mind-blowing to me. It's really mind-blowing.
You're very kind.
I thought you just take a, nowadays people take a handphone. The advertisement of Apple, they always say, you buy an Apple phone, you can take picture like this, you can take video like this already.
Yeah,
so
it's true.
It's not like that, right?
Not at all. Not at all.
Because the advertisement kind of lied to us, I think.
If it was that easy, I would be making more money at the moment.
Okay. So next time, if I want some advice of taking picture, doing video, I know who to contact, I guess.
Thank you, Spider-Man.
Yes. So don't.
I'll try and catch you. I'll try and get pictures of you while you're swinging around as well.
No, I only certain areas. I don't really go out of Klang. So.
So I have to come to Klang like that.
So thank you so much, Matt, for your time. Really appreciate you, and also thank you everybody for watching today. We hope to see you on the next talk with me. And also we do have our upcoming events and webinars. You guys can check out our Facebook. So see you all real soon. Thank you so much. Bye, Matt.
Hi, thank you.
Hi everyone.
Hey everyone.
Hi, everybody. Hi, guys.
Stay strong.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Stay safe, everyone.
Stay together.
Stay hydrated.
Stay one.
Stay strong, stay safe, stay at home. くれぐれもお体をお大事に。